Hey, can you hear
Hi,
me?
Welcome, man.
Wayne.
Hey,
Welcome.
sorry about the
How
technical
are you?
difficulties. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm good, I guess. Yeah,
You are doing good. That's good. We are happy to see you.
yeah, yeah.
At the
How y'all
moment
doing?
that
What's going on?
at the moment you were on a laptop and it was working because I saw the chair and the laptop it was on. So I
Yeah,
don't know if it's
yeah.
stable.
I'm on a different laptop now, so this is good. Can you hear me
We
okay?
hear you good. Yeah,
We
perfect.
hear you okay.
Okay,
That's
cool.
good. Yeah.
So
Yeah, okay, cool.
what are the news with Nashville Pussy and 9 Pound Hammer? Choose which band to start.
9 Pound Hammer. We just recorded a record with Daniel Ray, the Ramones producer. He came in and Kentucky in the fall. We did that, and we're just waiting on the artwork. It should be done in a couple months, I guess, or that takes a few months after that. And 9 Pound Hammer is also recording a covers record of the classic rock songs. That should be out early next year. Nashville Pussy has a live record coming out on our own label in September, I think. And everything's been postponed a year as far as Europe. And Nashville Pussy goes out in the fall, but beyond that, sitting around being bored like everybody else, pretty much.
Yeah.
Ryder's been working in
That's
a
it.
garden, but real regular life stuff, man. I'm really tired of it. I want to go back to
As we
my
are all.
Uh,
sure.
our first guests today were Dirty Wolfgang. They were the band who opened for you at Magasin 4 in Brussels a few years ago.
Oh, right on.
And they say hi to Blaine. We had a great time with him. They
Sure.
party after the show, after what I heard.
Yeah, I would say so. Where do you go? You're in Brussels or where?
In Brussels, yeah.
Oh, right on. Yeah, but that's what's
And,
going on. There's also we have a country project we did about 12 years ago, backing up some singer named Georgia Peach, and we've gotten those. We resurrected those tapes, and those are coming out on some label that she's putting out. So, we've been busy, man.
That's good.
Between
Keeping
being
busy.
bored, been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd drive me. I'd go crazy if I wasn't busy. It'd drive me nuts. Yeah.
yeah, Mark told me about the album, and I think it sounds great. Mark from 9 Pound Hammer, because
Yeah.
we met him
Yeah. I'm
after the.
gonna. I get y'all
Go
guys
ahead.
advance copy of that. I'll get you an advance copy of that. It's really really
Oh,
good, man.
fancy.
I mean, it was we did it during while everything was shut down. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. So it was just like our little small bubble, just recording, and we couldn't go out. We couldn't go to bars afterwards. We couldn't see friends. So it was pretty concentrated. So it was really nice. We got a lot of work done that way. Yeah.
Lots of people are recording now because that's the only thing. It's so full for a lot of bands who had new albums. They cannot even promote it. Those
I know.
albums came out in March.
Our stuff's postponed for Europe. Our stuff is postponed until next year. So, yeah, again, So how you guys doing during this crap?
Everything's closed. No concerts since March 13 last year.
Yeah. No concerts, no bars, no restaurants, no nothing. We are very
really?
bored too.
So drink at home.
Yeah.
Drink at home. Yeah. That's that's a lot what we do.
But
Yeah.
have to wait.
Well, we don't have concerts. If we do, they're real separate and it's weird. And everyone's got a mask on and you're far away. But we're starting to come around. Everybody's been. I mean, most people have been vaccinated here. In Kentucky, everybody has. And 9 Pound Hammer
Oh,
has
that's
a show.
cool.
Yeah, 9 Pound Hammer has a show at some honky tonk in Ohio in like 3 weeks. It's gonna be great. And it's the only show I think we're gonna have in summer. But yeah, it's kind of.
That's cool.
I mean, there's not a lot of people there anyway. And it's a social distancing show anyway. It's just like, even if there was no pandemic, it'd be like a smattering of rednecks sitting down.
Did you play a social distancing show or not?
Yeah,
Did you play?
They didn't play one yet.
How was that? How was that? How
I
did
haven't
it
played.
feel?
I haven't played a
Oh,
social distance show yet, but we're about. It'll be by the time we play, about 3 weeks, things might be back to normal. We have bars. Bars have been open. Restaurants are open. You got to wear a mask when you go in, and you got to take it off. But it's not locked down like Europe. That would drive me fucking crazy. I've been going back to Kentucky and stuff too. Been safe, I've been tested three times. I've gone through about 600 masks. Some of them cool, some of them not, and all that. So done everything done everything it's supposed to. So I think the show started happening here in October. We're going out. Nashville Pussy's going out with Reverend Horton Heat and a band called the Toadies, and we're opening up. We're the opening band. It's the 25th anniversary of Nashville Pussy. So we're going out, and that'll be fun and easy. But I wish we were in Europe right now.
yeah. I wish you were. I wish you were too.
Here, even with the pandemic, it really starts a little bit. You really see two sides on a population. There's a lot of kids, to 15 to 25. They start to meet in the park. There was 5,000 people. There's a riot. Cops get in.
They're not only meeting in 5,000 people. Kids are meeting in private too, man. I happen to know. Happen to know a lot of because of my age. I know a lot of mothers of teenage girls, and that's a big panic now. It's like, oh, I saw your daughter and my son and two other friends, and they were in the living room talking, and they weren't wearing a mask, and these kids are just sitting.
That's crazy, man.
The kids are sitting on the couch talking. No drugs, no anything, no beer, not any loud music playing, maybe in a little bit, and they're getting in trouble. They're sitting there and talking like their parents are like turning up and going, "I can't believe you did this."
That's crazy. So that's crazy.
We're gonna have some really fucked up kids, man. They're gonna grow up and hate everyone that's old. They're gonna hate our fucking guts.
I think
we kept kids like locked down, and they're ready to go crazy. And no.
That's gonna be a
don't have
We're gonna have a new generation of angry punk.
Angry punks, yeah, that's it.
Because
I'm officially on their side if they see this, so they don't come after me. So I feel okay. Seriously.
The bubble in Belgium is one person since October. One person. You can see one person.
You can see only one person, yeah.
It's insane.
There's a lot of redneck bars starting to have trying to prove a point. They're like having shows, but our band doesn't really fit in with that. I'm kind of jealous because Knockdown Hamburger want to play some shows, and all the clubs we like, the more hipster clubs, we tend to have more of a liberal bias, and everyone's totally taken this thing and made it political, of course, because you can. Mm-hmm. And so the people that we have more liberal friends, so they're not opening up their bars until for shows until months from now. Meanwhile, the rednecks are having a good time. So I would love to play, but we don't fit in. Neither band fits in. We're too hard. I mean, real redneck stuff, real country, not just country-based punk, But they're having some good times in places. You just have to wear a mask for a second, and then you go in, and I don't know. I'm ready for the big party when this all comes down.
I think we will. I know I am.
I'm ready to spit in some strangers' mouth and let them spit in mine.
That's it.
I never wanted to do that ever, man. Kentucky got vaccinated earlier than everybody else. For some reason, they're vaccinated. So I went home and visited my family, and my aunt's 87 years old. I went and visited her at her store, and she didn't have a mask on because she's vaccinated. And so she gave me a hug. I haven't really hugged anyone in a long fucking time, And you're like, wow, this is normal, Weird shit, man.
Very weird times.
We really. I remember I was watching a movie the other day, and there was a lot of people together, and I was like, wow, no social distancing, of course.
No, don't do that. Don't touch each other. No.
It's in your head all the time now. Because you see wrestling commercials, it's like someone hands someone a Coca-Cola, and you're going, "Oh, get back! Where's your mask? Oh no, no." No big snap out. I don't. If they got to me, if they've gotten to me, then they've gotten to everybody. Then so I'm not gonna think like that at all. But now I'm seeing old shows and like or seeing pictures of old concerts and stuff, or festivals.
Like a memory.
Yes, I know. And I can't really. I'd hate crowds, and I'm claustrophobic, but. So I'm never in the crowds in those festivals. But next year, I think I'm just even Whacking Fest or something. If we go, I'm just gonna hop in the middle just to get squashed. There's something different than this last year, man. Yeah, because I'm really claustrophobic if someone's touching me and shit. But now I'm like, wow, this would be great.
Come here.
Getting thrown this way and that way, maybe stomped on. That'd be great.
Let's do the crowd thing. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
A lot of people and all the guys, I'm 50 and I always stay on the side now at the concert because I don't want to go in a mosh pit, pogo, or wild stuff. And now I'm just dying to be in one.
Exactly. Last time I was in some kind of a pit, there's that band Guar. You know the band Guar?
Yeah.
I've never seen them. We played the same night as them a long time ago. Nashville Pussy played with Skid Row or something. We played next to where Guar was playing. Everyone was at Guar. And I'd never been, and I loved it. And they were had a big dick and shooting blood and all that stuff. And I was right down there with a bunch of kids, man. And if it comes to something like that, I'll climb right over to a bunch of kids. Every time I have Iggy Pop, man, I just elbow or the Stooges or whatever. I'll just elbow my way to the front. I'm like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the asshole tonight, man. So, man, all that stuff sounds so much fun. I know.
I'm dying to see any band. The good stuff for us is going to start with a whole lot of small Belgian band, local band, because I don't see a US band play Europe before 22.
No. Well, that's the whole thing. That's what's happening here. Is they haven't booked the bigger bands till September, and then then what do they got? They're going to have months of seriously. It's going to start opening next week. I think Georgia's open now. I mean, they're ready to go. So it's just going to be cover bands. It's going to be the heyday. People are going to get bands together just to play this opening, during the pandemic. It'd be like they'll form a band just to play. People play covers or whatever. Yeah. It's been singer-songwriter kind of stuff because it's not, there's no crowds or dancing and you sit at tables. So there's still that going on. But no one, I don't want to go see that.
No.
I want to go to a rock and roll. Oh yeah, I'm down to see a rock and roll show. I don't care who it is.
Just the first one you're gonna grab.
Even if they suck, man. Yeah, seriously.
They had some gigs here with the people. You have to sit on your table. You have a bartender coming to your table, bring you the glass. And there's a Belgian band. They like Zeke or Motorhead. It's a Motorhead on speed, if that's possible.
That's not possible. But
to be like that, watch the show.
Well,
how do you want to see Nashville Pussy sitting on a table? No way.
We're waiting.
I couldn't.
We're waiting. And I tell you what, man, as dumbass areas I live in, the Southeast, I mean, sometimes being reckless pays off because they had to stop at a certain amount of the shutdowns because they know there's a bunch of crazy people with guns going, fuck you. And it's weird to live. It sucks to live amongst those people a lot of times, but every once in a while they come in handy. It's like, oh, really? You're going to tell us to do something? Well, you got to deal with these crazy fuckers. So we haven't had anything too nuts locked down here in Georgia, and it's been fine. We've actually had economy's still good, and there's people coming to live here, and Hollywood moved here, and all this other shit. So that part.
Which side of Georgia are you?
Atlanta. It's the only part that's worth.
Nice.
I mean, sorry, but I like Atlanta. Georgia's like redneck. Atlanta's.
Yeah, I know.
Atlanta,
I have a big part of my family's from Macon.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's you said it all.
That's where the Allman Brothers. That's where the Allman
Yeah.
Brothers are from. That's where the Allman Brothers are from, and that's where they have like the Georgia Hall of Fame. It's got a lot of music behind it. So, you know, you would think I would have had a better time there. I didn't. I'm all for it. Real close, man. We played there with Reverend Horton Heat, and we set up, and I could tell by the way this place is set up that we had marshals, and we were so fucking loud, and I could tell that they weren't used to loud bands, like at all. I mean, like ever, you know. And Horton Heat, they were like freaking out over his volume, and he's got a little Fender, and you know, it's still loud, but it's not Nashville pussy. So we got up there, and it was just like, what are we gonna do with you guys? It was still a pretty good show, but it wasn't. It ain't Austin, Texas, or anything. It's yeah. There's a really good Allman Brothers Museum there. We've never got up the next day in time to go be able to visit it when it was open. But they've got all their, it's the actual Allman Brothers house, and they got all their shit inside the house. So supposedly it looks pretty cool. Yeah, but that's Macon, Georgia.
I love the other one.
Home of Little Richard, right? And Otis Redding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's a muscle show.
I think it'd be cool. So and the Allman Brothers. So you think you go there and you go, "Fuck, this is great." It's okay. No.
Yeah. But we always ask the same question to all our guests. If Back to the Future, the movie, if that car would stop in front of you, and you can go in the past, see some guys, some concerts, some artists you missed, who would you go see?
Oh man, I think like either like Rolling Stones, 1972.
Okay.
Or I mean, just being a punk from way back. I mean, I'd have to like maybe when the Ramones and the Pistols were new.
Your sound is off.
Sorry. Yeah. No.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Okay, you there?
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. We hear you.
Okay,
no.
See it?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my
Perfect.
camera's off. Oh, there it is. All right.
We can hear and see you.
See
That's
me?
okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like either, and like going back to like where the Pistols were new, Sex Pistols and Ramones were new, I would be really cool because I'd feel like I was there while something was happening. Because I felt like I was there when something was happening, even being in a small town in Kentucky, just hearing the record, you felt connected. It'd been cool to actually have been one of the 30 people that saw them at CBGB's or whatever. That'd be cool. Other than that, the early rock and roll days, man. Chuck Berry, man.
Chuck Berry, yeah.
The real Chuck Berry
Sure.
and Chuck Berry, Little Richard. I mean, that'd have been.
I was thinking about Little Richard. That's one of my choice too.
Oh really?
I'm always go.
Yeah, sure.
That was Libby's favorite singer.
Always go back to Buddy Holly for personal.
Yeah, Buddy Holly too.
Yeah, Lemmy's favorite singer was Little Richard. Yeah, it was. Perfect rock and roll voice. His voice.
Yeah, the man was crazy. The man was crazy for the time, and that's like I don't know. We say it in English, precursor, Fab.
He was.
He was ahead of his time.
Oh yeah.
Ahead of his time.
Well, his voice sounded like a distorted electric guitar almost, because when he sang, it was like an instrument. Like Alice Cooper has a similar type thing, and where they can just say anything, and it sounds amazing. So you give them a few cool words and hype them up. I guess everything they do is great. They can sing anything. I mean, I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard Little Richard's outtakes where he's singing, by a light of the silvery moon, or just the corniest song in the world, and it still sounds like amazing. He could sing the phone book or something, or the alphabet.
he could.
But you were talking about the Ramones in the beginning, but if you check those old videos from the Ramones of '74, it really shows even if your band sucks at start, keep on. There's a way to do it. Because when you see those live, man, it was awful and great at the same time.
Oh man, I've seen those early ones where they're arguing what song to play on stage and all that. Yeah, man. I was Daniel Ray, our producer, who produced 3 Nashville Pussy and now 1 9-Pound Hammer. He was like the 5th Ramone. He had Dee Dee. We usually get to use Dee Dee's bass. He still has, and he had Johnny's guitar, and he had plenty of stories, which I can't tell. But they're always really colorful. I mean, those guys are cartoon characters. They were in real life too. I mean, they were, everything they said was they had these very specific things they would say, specific character traits. Yeah, always my favorite, man, back then. Yeah,
I think Raging Slab.
Yeah.
They were very close friend with Joey too. Greg played as a backing band for Joey Ramone's band. They are Greg and Elise are the couple who comes out of the coffin in a Pet Sematary video.
Oh,
That's
really?
Greg and Elise. Yeah.
Oh, Daniel wrote that song. Wrote half of that anyway. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I had a crazy day with those guys in Spain. We played a Series Z festival. Nashville Pussy I think Nashville Pussy played one day, and then we showed up the next day to see everybody because it was like who was the Dictators were playing, and Hanoi Rocks and Raging Slab, and I think it was Cherry Valance and the Helicopter. I mean, it was the greatest show. So guitar player Raging Slab, Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, Greg. He shows up drunk, and he's a big leather jacket, the fringes.
Yeah.
He's still drunk, and he grabs me and picks me up in the air, and swings me around. He's like, "How you doing?" He goes, "Man, I'm drunker than hell." I was like, "Okay, it should be interesting." And the guitar player, Elise.
Elise, yeah.
Elise. Sorry, yeah. She has a slide guitar, and our roadie, who didn't know how to tuned it for her. She was wasted too, so he tuned it like a regular guitar, so it didn't make sense. So they had 2 songs of like, it was just total chaos, and it was just hell. And because she didn't know what was going on, and he was mad. It was nuts. That was one of the craziest shows I ever saw. Seriously.
And Alec, now the bass player, is playing with Monster Magnet.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those.
They record a new album. It should come out in June, I think.
Oh, I like Dave. I mean, we known Dave. We played Monster Magnet. We had a few shows on in stadiums with Monster Magnet. In America, it was Marilyn Manson, Monster Magnet, Nashville Pussy. It's in 1998. This is a big Marilyn Manson tour, and but first it was Marilyn Manson, Hole, and Monster Magnet, and then Hole quit because people were booing them, and didn't like them, flipping them off, standing with their backs to you. The audience turns around. Now, when you have like thousands of people turn around, that's worse than getting flipped off.
That's not good.
I've only had that happen one time. Was with the St. Clown Posse, but when that happens, you're like, well, I can't do anything. All you can do is throw things in the back of their head or something. So anyway, Whole it canceled out because it wasn't going good, and then it was Monster Magnet. They took over the second slot, so it was Marilyn Manson, Monster Magnet. Then they needed somebody else, so they called us up. This is the early days. The first record was out, and that was it. And we had like 3 or 4 days with those guys. Yes, those days.
Of course.
We had 3 or 4 shows like that. The Monster Magnet got called off tour from Marilyn Manson to go open for Metallica in Israel and Hawaii. And it's like okay, so it ended up being just like Marilyn Manson and Nashville Pussy, just 2. But yeah, we had a couple of days of big stadium stuff. I saw those guys open for Aerosmith too when Power Trip was out, Monster Magnet. It was great. It was like seeing your friends in this big stadium, you know. It's like 13,000 people. No, I mean, some people knew who they were. Most people didn't, but they liked them. They were like, it was really cool.
And talking about Raging Slabs, they had also they made a cover album who came out with the drummer from the Melvins. They record it's an album they recorded before Elise passed away, and she's singing all the songs.
Really?
Yeah, very really nice cool album. It's pretty. I think it's sold out now because they didn't put much out, and they might reconsider it. But you can find it on internet, of course.
Oh, really? Yeah. So is it on? Hey, there's my faces again. It's working. I don't know anything about computers, so I apologize. I mean,
no, that's okay. We can hear you. We see you, so it's very good.
At my house where Ryder is. They're repairing the roof because we had to have like it's boring shit. Our homeowners insurance is canceling us because we had to repair a roof. It's American shit, and so it's like you had to repair his fucking roof. And so anyway, I said you took all the money. They barely gave us any money here. The government, we're lucky to get it, but yeah. So that's all going to the roof. But they're hammering things. So I'm at a friend's house in front of a pool actually. And there's an actual swimming pool behind me, which is really nice, but it's too cold to go. So I had to get out of the house. So I barely know how this works, but all of a sudden my face popped up on the screen. So that's probably good. Sorry. I'm also kind of high. Really high.
It's okay.
You know, it was freezing here. This morning it was still freezing in Belgium.
Yeah.
We had snow like 2 days ago. Again?
Not one flake. No snow this whole year in Atlanta. When the rest of the country, Texas is frozen, it was still 70 degrees here, which is like 20 Celsius. Like it was great. It was great for a while, and then I go to Kentucky. It's nice there too. So yeah, it's gonna be hotter than shit here soon. Now, I mean, it's like mosquitoes and shit soon. Not now. This is perfect. Yeah. Now I hate the cold though, man. I really hate the cold. But
I hate it too. So yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, we had a potential tour for February last year. I'm glad it didn't go on. It was like, hey, we got a chance in February to do the Eastern Bloc countries in Great Britain. And I'm like, that sounded like the coldest tour ever. I just sounded like fucking throats.
If you hit the cold, Great Britain is not the best. It's cold, and
you don't know if they have heat. You know, I'm just like, man, you don't know. You know. So anyway, I'm glad We've mostly been going to Europe in summertime.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's not always the best. It's not always the best.
I remember a gig you played in Brussels. It was so warm, real summer, and Magasin 4, the place you played.
Oh yeah, that place is really hot. There's no windows or anything. I don't think there's any. Yeah.
That's like a little pub bunker. So.
I like that. I like that place, man.
That's a really good venue.
That was the only place we did better than Turbo Negro. We opened for Turbo Negro there. Original Turbo Negro '98, and they had been partying wherever we played the night before, probably in Germany, where they're really rock stars, or were still are, but really were at the time. It was like they were really big in Germany. The next show we had after them partying, they hadn't slept yet. And they pulled up, and we played a punk rock show in Belgium. And they're like, hey, man, can we go on first? And I'm like, fuck y'all. No, we got to go on second. Oh, you hot shots. And you got all this. And they have all these really cool lights and shit that didn't fit in the magazine. So you play bigger places in Germany. So it was kind of like a punk rock band against band without the special effects, and we like smoked them. I think we were crazy, and then they got up there and they were so tired. But every other night they kicked ass. That night, that was the one night they were tired, and it was hot, and I just remember seeing Happy Tom. I love that fucking dude, but I remember seeing him playing bass with that little sailor cap on and his shirt off or something, just looking like he wanted to be in bed. It was a very hot show, man.
That was at the Lynn Fabrique.
Yes.
That's the day I discovered you. I remember ending up the night playing those football stuff, soccer stuff, table soccer.
Foosball. Yeah. Yes.
I remember that night. I went home so drunk.
Yeah. Everyone was drunk early. That was kind of the thing with the Turbo Negro thing too. It was like by the time they got on stage, everyone was just they'd been drinking all day. Yeah.
And
so it was just like
crazy stuff. That's a very low. It's a very low place. And at the time, Corey was on a bass, and she spit fire, and that flame was just that above our head. Everybody was like, "Who's that band? They nuts."
Yeah, I like the fire. Fire was cool. I'd breathe fire if I could, man. Yeah, that fire was always a high point. Yeah. Because even if you hate us, there was still some fire. So.
Yeah, right to explain me that was not even a dangerous stuff because she gets some in her hair.
Only thing is like sometimes she would get it if she got it in her hair, like the fluid. It would catch on fire for a second and go away, but it wasn't. I mean, she breathed it on me a bunch. Like it hit me, the fireball hit me, and it was like it's like being blasted by a charcoal grill, but not as bad. It's not anything real, you know. But I mean, it could catch the place on fire. But you couldn't if you breathed it at something. It wouldn't. It doesn't ignite. It evaporates. It was like lamp oil. It was like she learned that from her boyfriend, and that made it good. But she couldn't find it in Europe. So we only brought so much over. So she had to use some really rank, weird stuff. I think it made her sick. So she's like, we were bad too. She's like, I don't feel like breathing fire. And well, you got to anyway. Sorry. So I think this stuff is killing me. It's like, well, you kind of backed yourself in that corner. I think you need to do it. Yeah.
But someone who's been with Dwayne Peters is not afraid of death.
That's
so nuts.
She was not only afraid of death, she wasn't afraid of taking a few of us with her. She didn't give a damn, man. She was like, she wanted. If she's gonna die, she's gonna want a bunch of people to see it, be there. So it's not a bad thing, maybe, but that's definitely.
Let's be a show.
I
today. Let's be a show.
I saw a gig of US Bombs where the roadie had to take Dwayne away of the stage because he was so wasted, falling out.
I met that guy, and I met him with Corey because I went to hang out with Corey's band in like 2007 or 8. Opened up for Nine Pound Hammer, and she played upright bass. She did a great job, got along great, and she introduced me to her kid. She took me to see meet Dwayne. I liked him a lot. I liked him a whole lot. He was crazy. Craziest fucking stories. He's sitting there like rolling joint after joint, telling me these fucked up stories, which don't get old. He just very, he had a very, very specific. He was very, he was great. He was a very good storyteller too, man. And the shit he was telling me was like, man, you got more balls than I do. I mean, he was telling me matter of fact stuff. I'm like, whoa.
I think that guy broke every bone in his body. Yeah, but he was a great skateboarder, and I think he broke every bones possible. And he's not afraid of nothing.
See, people like that, I've traditionally made friends with, because if you don't try to challenge them on some macho shit, if you just try to make them laugh, you just try to treat them like you would anyone else and make them laugh, they like you. And then when somebody tries to kick your ass, and they like fighting, they'll jump right in. Seriously, that was good. Yeah, I like people like that. They're always really I like people who's fearless. I can't be like that. It's just it's one of those I can't be that adventurous. It would drive me crazy. If getting, I can't be that reckless because it gets in the way of doing what I want to do. I mean, if I get in trouble, that's just money and a lawyer, and I gotta deal with the borders. I gotta do a really bunch of boring, stay the course, middle of the road shit to be able to go around the world, act like an idiot on stage. When I get off stage, I kind of have to be chill the fuck out, or things can get fucked up. But you know, I got like Dwayne Peters. That's just he was the same, I guess, both, and I got tons of respect for that. But I ain't doing it.
I wouldn't.
Respect for it though, man. Like you know, I don't want to be the guy that people tell crazy stories about. I think I'm gonna be the guy telling the crazy stories about the guy I knew. You know.
We're gonna play one song. The sound is not incredible because it was not official film, but I want to play. That's next track, 9-Pound Hammer at the Jock Festival. Last time you played,
yeah.
And I think you played the best gig of the festival.
Oh, really?
That year.
I'll tell you what, man. That means a lot because, man, I don't know who I thought was best. We all argued, and it was the Mummies. Wasn't the Turks. It was the Mummies were good. I know Dead Kennedys were there. I don't like them without Jello though. We had Lords of Altamont, who I thought were fantabulous. I thought live the Lords of Altamont were great because they had those kids come up on stage. You can't beat that, man. You really, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just it's like Money in the Bank. You put a kid behind you play a Stooges song, let a kid play like ding, 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 ding on the piano. I mean, that's what everyone's taking pictures of and shit, you know. And who else? I mean, there's a bunch of good bands that played though. So thank you very much. Yeah, Purple Negro played, man. I mean, we thought we sat there and I mean, it's me and Earl, the guitar player. We were like sitting there thinking that it was a very special day. It seemed like everybody was out of respect for everyone else. I was kicking ass, and you know, you're trying to outdo each other. Musicians are weird. You try to outdo each other, but you'd rather see. It's good to have it's good to be inspired. You know, say like there was a girl band off the bat too. They were great. I forget their name from LA.
The Darts.
Yes, the Darts. Sorry.
Oh, the Darts. Yeah, that was that. Yeah.
That was great too. And I was like, you know, because you think, oh, we're gonna be great, and then every band I saw that day, I was like, oh shit, we better be good, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, nothing better fuck up.
It was a great festival, and something I'm really proud personally. There's some picture of the Jock Festival on a 9-Pound Hammer page, and it's my wife who took them.
Oh, really? Is that the one where?
Oh, yeah. Manu can take great photos, so yeah.
One of Scott laying down on. I have to check it out. You have to show me which one. Yeah. Excellent.
I can send you a link to the gallery of that page, and that's how we met Mark and Elia. And after that, when they came to Brussels.
Yeah. You went to Brussels.
Yeah, they came to Brussels, and we met at the Porte Noire.
That's so cool.
That day.
Yeah, they went to Amsterdam. They went to Brussels. I went to Amsterdam. So
yeah.
No,
and they went to visit Brugge with my wife, and we went to Porte Noire. That's the bar
where I worked.
A special beer bar. How many Belgian beer we have in that bar?
That's like 300, 200, something like that.
Wow.
I remember that night. It was a weeknight, and I closed the bar just for us to stay and drink and talk and be really cool. And that was a very, very good evening with Mark and his wife and you two and Manu and Fab. That was good.
Well, very cool. Yeah. What song are you playing? Are you playing a clip or something?
I don't remember which one I took from. That's the only correct video I would say from the Jock Festival I found. It's great, and we can talk after a little bit more.
Okay, go.
Love the belly. Yeah. I've just sent you on Messenger the page with all the picture from that gig.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Because,
I've never seen that clip. That's really cool. I like that. It's like fun. I think we're
Yeah,
going
that-
back. I mean, I think we'll be back next year. We'll be back there next year, I think.
oh, it would be great.
To the Shock Festival?
I mean, Shock Fest. Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
I think if they squeeze us on, I mean, everything got postponed. So I got this Nashville Pussy
Yeah.
stuff from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
Mhm,
Hammer's
mhm.
got an album coming out. But I still have these, pretty sweet gigs from Nashville Pussy 2 years ago. I still have to do to make up. So I think we're going to do. I think it's going to go from one. I'm going to go from one tour to the next. I think we're going to try to make many. If we'll be at Shock Fest. If Shock Fest will have us, that's what we kind of build things around. It's hard to get that many cool people together at any festival because we'll play 50,000 seat festivals a few times. I mean, Nashville Pussy will, but there's probably only so many that are gonna they'll love it, but there's probably only a certain percentage of them that know who you are, when people you went over. Shockfest is just like that's like a dream gig for a cool band, and plus those are my friends too. I like in other bands. I don't see them. I mean, they're all when we knew each other, like New Bomb Turks or whoever. We knew each other by like on the road. We only cross paths occasionally. And now they all have regular lives and shit. So it's like I never see any of these people. So when you see the Flesh Tones or Guys of Lords of Altamont or or New Bomb Turks or Turbo Negro, I mean fuck, those are like that's the only time I see those guys. And it might just be drinking and backstage for 30 minutes, But that's it's worth its weight in gold, So that's a great festival for us, man. They've always been really cool.
It's a human-sized festival with very cool prices. The price to get in are very great band.
It's affordable.
I know you play Hellfest, but okay.
No, it's not. I mean, Hellfest is great too. So I'm not gonna.
It's so big.
Is great. Yeah, it's so big. Okay, that's one place where I went out, and because like when the big bands came on, like Sabbath, I think we couldn't. You couldn't go inside the stage and watch them because, I mean, because it probably bother them, and plus like they have like lights, they have like and so you have to go out in the crowd. So I went out to try to watch Rammstein in the crowd at Hellfest, and I was out in the crowd for about a second. It was so huge.
Yeah.
That it was
so many people.
Now, Shockfest is pretty much perfect, man. I know I have a lot of respect for those guys because, like, I know they went when I first started playing there, like maybe the first year, and then I played there like 9 times now. I mean, when I first started playing there, it was like 1,500 people, but it was cool bands, and it got this reputation because it's cool. And it made the area cooler and it helped out. And all of a sudden you have like big bands that want to play, Social Distortions type, And I used to headline Shockfest no matter where I went. Now it's like got actual big bands, like I got to play before. Like that's cool. I mean, I think we had open for like a couple big bands. But it's like it's cool though. It's cool though. I think they had a chance. They said of making it even bigger, and they didn't. So, a lot of respect for that because it would suck if that turned into like an extra
like
big festival.
A big fest, like
because it's people. It's a certain type of people that go there. It's a rock and roll crowd, like cool rock and roll crowd.
Petit souci technique.
Are you there?
Yeah,
we can hear you, but not see you.
Yeah, she had a phone call. It'll come back, I guess.
Oh, that's okay.
No,
that's okay. That's direct.
Yeah.
I know the cool stuff for the band at the Jock Festival. It's you can walk around without it can be cool at the Jog Festival, walk around, see all the band without too much people, too much security stuff, you know.
Without being harassed by the crowd, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You can't see me. Can you see me?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know how this is gonna work. The camera's not on.
Basically, last year, and there's some name who are confirmed for next year, because finally we're gonna have the 2020 bill in 2022. That's 2 years later. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think
Madness.
I think Not Bad Hammers might be on that. I think we squeezed on that, but I don't. It wasn't official. Hopefully they'll let us, because we have an album coming out. So I cannot get this camera on here. So it's not my laptop. Someone made a phone call, and now this is not working.
So it was Agnostic Front, New Bomb Turks, Phil Campbell from Motorhead, Social Distortion, DOC, Dropkick Murphy, and Madness. It's nice.
That's an interesting lineup.
Yeah, if we get, hopefully Not Bad Hammer squeeze on. Even if we play the tent, we'll squeeze on there somehow. Because we were talking to them about it then, and this happened, you know.
And next year, the Mighty Boss Tones should play too.
I'm sorry?
The Mighty Boss Tones should play also.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still playing or not, man. They?
Yeah, they are on confirmation.
Hey.
I can see you. It's on confirmation. So I don't know.
Push the same button like 40 times and it works. Just push it over and over and over, and eventually it works. Cool. I'm sorry. What's the last thing you said?
Mighty Boss Tones was confirmed for this year, and they should be also next year.
So, I hope they have room for us then next year. So, you know, because hopefully we'll be there, man. I got my last day with Nashville Pussy is like July 3rd, I think, in France, maybe. So, hopefully I'll figure something out.
Finger crossed. Yeah.
It'd be weird to play that much. I haven't played in not New Bomb Turks and 9 Pound Hammer. Played New Bomb Turks and 9 Pound Hammer had 4 gigs together last year. That was the last gig everyone saw. It was February last year. So that was everyone's last gig. Was,
oh my God, it's ages ago.
Turks. It was great though. That was some of the best gigs ever.
Yeah, I think if you would see a movie about this, you would think that was a bad science fiction movie. And
I would think the movie went on way too long.
I know, right?
I would say this movie would have been a really good video or short film. And then maybe I don't want to see it again. That's it. Yeah.
Never again, please. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been easier here, like I said. I mean, it's like, you can't keep people inside their houses here. It's just not gonna happen.
No.
I mean,
no. We're all going crazy.
Yeah. The helicopter. Yeah.
Hello, helicopter.
Oh, we got helicopters. It mostly means there's someone that did something that's running with a gun.
Oh, yeah.
That's America.
That's America for you, yeah.
Someone's got a gun somewhere, and we're just going to try to fish him out by flying over his head. Or that could have been a military. I don't know. All kinds of good stuff.
They have a new way to put the vaccination on people. They just.
I wish that would be easier. You got your first one? Yeah.
Yeah, I got my second one in like about a few days. The 9 Pound Hammer guys live in Kentucky. They got theirs in March. My family.
Oh.
So, yeah. So that's the whole thing. We're like going, we're all vaccinated now. It's supposed to work. So why can't we play music for the other vaccinated people? And people don't like questions, but we're easing into it. I think people are kind of skittish about going back to normal. Some people are. I'm not. Some people like this shit, man.
Yeah.
No, who are there? Who
Now-
are they and why?
They made themselves known, man. I don't know. It's like there's some people who kind of like this. I mean, it's only a few. It's only a few, but man, there are some people like that. This is great. My friend Danko Jones has been prepared for this for his whole life because he had a face shield anyway. So we're going.
Yeah, so yeah,
He had
that's
all
not
the-
changing much.
Yeah, so if he was like flirting with a girl, which you're flirting with a girl like that, they would think it, you're being careful. They didn't know that you had that before, and you were just kind of crazy. He had wow, his hair. Look at that. Yeah. But they even recorded a record. So yeah, there's it takes a lot more than that to keep musicians from playing. We'll play to ourselves. If y'all don't come, it's y'all's fault. We're playing music. Y'all just not there. That's basically what's going on. Like all the people that love music are missing out. We're still. Not Bad Hammers played plenty of music this year. We played a whole lot, but no one's been there. It's been great. It's been great, but it's just been for us, So it's been been cool. Yeah, I've been practicing this stuff, just like for the hell of it for 2 hours a day, learning songs. Yeah, we're doing a covers record. We did like Judas Priest song.
Nice.
We did Head on the Highway. We did a band called Angel City, the Angels song down the line. What's it called? And we did Tie Your Mother Down, and Status Quo song. We did Down.
Down, like that song.
Yes, and we kind of nailed this stuff. The band's really good, and we have a basically studio in the drummer's basement. And everything sounds amazing in there. It sounds like he should open up a studio in his basement, but he's not going to. It sounds amazing. Yeah, that's where we're doing our covers record. Yeah,
That would be cool. And yeah, cover always. It's great because you have some. I don't really like cover band, those basic cover band. Now there's some festival with only cover band, but the problem is you have the logo of the original band. So you see Aerosmith, Iron Maiden, Led Zeppelin, and you're like, oh, Led Zeppelin.
What the fuck? Why?
Mm-hmm. Those festivals are as expensive as original music festival. I'm sorry, that's insane.
Yes.
No,
I know.
You have the same in the US?
Yeah. What? We don't have as much as Europe. We had a lot for a while. We still do, but it's not like Europe, man. Europe's got like a whole lot. God, it was on the French-Belgian border. Where was that place? 66. What was that place called? So I don't know. It's like a red dang bar, and the French part of Belgium is like it was Spirit of 66.
Oh yeah, in Verviers. Yeah.
Yes, and that's all they had. They had like Nashville Pussy, Knife and Hammer, and then they had like and Molly Hatchet, but then they had the tribute band for Zeppelin, Deep Purple, everyone. And you're kind of going, like 5 nights a week. And I guess if I lived there in that small town and being an old white guy, rock and roller, and wanted to go get laid or get drunk, I'd go see the Boston cover band or Meatloaf tribute or some shit.
Yeah, sure.
Hope to get lucky or something, because it'd be either that or stay home. And people have that kind of option, it's like, oh, that sounds like it'd be kind of fun. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of thought into it. It's like, yeah, but you can also ignore the music too. If there's stuff like that, if you don't like it, tribute band, you can just laugh at them and shit. And so tribute bands work on a lot of entertainment wise, work on a lot of levels, unfortunately. So yeah, but people can get it. You can get a fucking tribute band for the same price as regular band now.
As a regular band, yeah, that's it.
That's
I
it,
know.
man.
Wait,
That's
there's been
the problem.
one Nashville Pussy tribute band in Japan a long time ago, supposedly. I've heard of a Not Bad Hammer tribute band, but I haven't seen it. It usually just exists very briefly somewhere weird that I don't remember where the fuck it was.
You know, I even saw some Europe cover band. You know,
Wow.
just to see Europe is pretty hard. Sorry, I saw them
No,
once
it's
in
like
a.
man, my friends open for Europe. In Europe, God, where's their name? They're from Atlanta. Great, Stone Rider. Great, they got a chance to open for Europe. I was like, yeah, and it was, I mean, good sized venues. It wasn't stadiums. It was like 2,500. They had a few big places, and so it's like, you can go see Europe. You don't have to see a cover band.
Yeah,
it's not like you're playing. They're probably playing a better sounding place. The actual band's probably the same price, playing a better sounding place and a better show. But I don't like Europe anyways. I don't know. It'd be like, man, the surround practice songs, man, that would be. I mean, to hear your friends you've been a cover band, and then all of a sudden you're playing Europe songs and the cover band, and someone's playing them really badly in the band, and you just want to kill them. It's like, wow, I don't even like this shit in the first place, and then you're making it fucking. That drive me nuts, man.
I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, there was a band called Kingdom Come.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was a Led Zepp cover band without Led Zepp song.
Yes, that was, yeah. There's a lot of them like that. I kind of miss them. I kind of miss the Led Zeppelin ripoffs. It's like, all the thing I've heard has been those kids, the Greta Van Fleet, which is really big here. And not big, I mean, big for rock, which is like, but there's a band called Greta Van Fleet. I don't know if they're big there or not. And they're young, and they sound like they're ripping off Zeppelin. And it's not Zeppelin, but there's nothing is, man.
No.
I mean, it's like, what are you going to say? Like, hey, we any good? Well, you're not Led Zeppelin. Well, no shit. We can be more accurate than that.
In those last year, did you discover some new great band or artists? Stuff you said like, wow, that's new and that's great.
What, me?
Yeah.
What a band have I seen?
Yeah. In the
not seen, just discovered or.
Man. Oh, I like, man. I mean, I'm old, so years. I mean, we like Judah a lot. The Italian punk band. It was kind of a glam band called Judah.
Yeah.
Giuda. I love them. God. Everyone else I know that I like is either like broken up or dead. And I'm serious.
That's actually an answer we have a lot on this show from the guests.
Oh God, man. Yeah. Well, you like Judah. Everyone else we like old stuff. I think we're getting to play with Blue Oyster Cult on a festival in Sweden next year, and we're happy about that. And I think maybe Judas Priest. That's the best band I've seen lately. I saw Judas Priest a couple years ago. It was great. Nothing really new. I mean, I probably will remember something after this podcast. I'll probably remember some band. But right now, man, no. Usually, I used to have a list. If someone asked me this, and they always did, I always had a list of like the 3 or 4 that I would mention. And now I only have, Judah. That's it. Judah's great. Yeah.
During my DJ set, I sometimes have kids coming to me say, "Do you play songs who are younger than 10 years old?" I was like, "Not much."
People asking that don't know you.
I know. I usually go up and ask, like, "Do you have anything by dead black guys?" Like old R&B and rock and roll. So I was like, seriously, he was like African American deceased. Make it more polite. I want some old stuff. I mean, that's what people like. I mean, everyone kind of always likes that. That's the whole thing. I'm not. If it was me, I would put on a 20-minute Allman Brothers song. But you don't do that in a room full of people. So I was like, then just go. And I was like, I want some like old R&B because everyone likes it whether they know it or not. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, there's a few really cornerstone like songs where they're like the Temptations or whatever, the kind of funkier, heavier, funkier stuff, that everyone's liked. I've seen play in public and over loudspeakers that I've never seen an adverse reaction to. I've never seen someone making fun of it, and it usually just sweeps people along. So I tend to play older stuff. I play older stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like, oh yes, old soul show, man. That'd be it.
I always say there's two kinds of music: the one you like, the one you don't like. Don't put stickers everywhere.
Yeah, man. I mean, man, the only music I never got into was jazz, and I wish I did.
Oh yeah.
I wish I did because there'd be more albums I could buy. But I tried. I even had this one cute chick trying to get me into it, and man,
there is always a cute chick.
yeah, I was like, I couldn't even fit, and I was like exhausting. I was just like, I was backing myself into like one really hell of a corner, like some TV show. Like, man, I was faking like I knew shit, which I never done in my life, and then I tried to educate myself on it real fast. Like I was going to consider like just understand jazz, like like in 2 days on like a long car ride. Like while I'm in the van, wish I liked it, never have, but like old blues, the old like
mm-hmm.
blues, rock and roll, country stuff. I mean, I barely get into hip hop in the early days and like some stuff here and there, but I rarely you wouldn't. I don't know. I'd rather listen to James Brown. I like James Brown a lot. I mean, a whole lot. Saw him when I was a kid. I saw Chuck Berry. I saw Jerry Lewis. I was live when me and the singer for Knock Down Hammer met James Brown on stage in Kentucky in 1982. We were still got out of high school, met James Brown. We saw Chuck Berry when we were 15 or 16 years old and down to the river in Owensboro. Saw Jerry Lewis. We saw a Jerry Lewis show. I had free tickets to it because the place I cooked barbecue for catered to it. So I had tickets. There was 2 shows. There was one at 7:30 and one at 9:30. And so it's kind of a supper club type place because this is like 1984, 85, oldie circuit. But he's not old. He's younger than I am now, but it's oldie circuit. And so the opening band, the backing band comes on for Jerry Lewis, and they play like about 20 minutes. And Jerry Lewis comes on, drunker and shit, plays one song. And then says, I want y'all know right now I'm the original motherfucker of them all. I'm the original motherfucker of them all. Played honestly another 30 minutes top. Said, fuck y'all, walked off stage. And it was amazing. And then they ushered the crowd out. The late night crowd comes in. He does the exact same thing. It's fuck you. Here's my greatest hit. Screw yourself. And everyone's just like, that was amazing. So I saw a lot of shit like that growing up.
The last time Jerry Lee Lewis played Brussels, some friends were there, and at the moment he really had an absence, and he stayed stuck in the middle of the song, and that's his bass player who came behind him, pushed him a little bit, and he gets back to the song. But it was really at the moment like, it's crazy.
First time I saw him was in 1982 maybe, and me and my girlfriend, I had dated this chick. She was still in high school. I was like 18 or something, and we went to see him, and he just had a heart attack. He's only 48, and he didn't do the rock and roll stuff as much. He did the country stuff. He did like an hour and a half of it, and at the time I wanted to see him break things because I was young and pissed off. But now I wish I could go back and see that show because it was probably phenomenal. He was playing all his boogie woogie kind of country stuff and singing great. but I wanted him to say "fuck you" and run out like he did at the other show.
Yeah. I had the chance to see the Highwaymen, Johnny
No.
Cash, Travis Street, Willie Nelson, and forget the last one.
Chris Christopherson.
Christopherson.
Yeah,
That was
Now Found Hammer does the Chris Christopherson song on the new record.
cool.
I grew up with Chris Christopherson. Yeah, we Waylon Jennings is that's my guy. I mean, you know, I can't. And I like almost everything he did. Even it's like I just like the way he sounds and the way he sings and his way he delivers stuff. To where it doesn't even have to be a great song. I can just listen to him play, you know, because it's pleasant, and it's also kind of, I don't know, assuring or something. I don't know what it is. It's also like hey, I'm cooler than you, so sit back and listen. It's like no problem. So I love Waylon Jennings. Yeah, I saw Johnny Cash. We went and saw Johnny Cash like in the mid '80s too, but he was it was in Kentucky, and he was I don't know, it was kind of a rough night. You know?
He was not back popular guy at that time too.
No,
because it's funny,
this was
at the
the
moment,
same place I saw. Yeah, same place I
he
saw.
was a stupid redneck country guy, and 10 years after, he's the king of rock and roll.
Yeah,
I remember that because I love country shit like Charlie Daniels and people like that. So I was really like,
I
you
saw
all like,
like a supper club. That's where I saw a lot of stuff though. Like I said, it was an oldies. I saw James Brown there a second time. And you remember me from the first time. It was great. Saw Chuck Berry there, George Jones, Roy Orbison. And I was in high school. You know, God, Waylon. There was a bunch of people we saw there at the. That was kind of like I know Johnny Cash was one of them, and he was okay. I don't know what I expected, but he was kind of having a rough night, and he might have driven that show from that. I mean, I live Not Found Hammer. We grew up like 100 miles from Nashville, and actually he lived in Harrisonville, so he might have driven to that show for the weekend or whatever. I mean, he had those kind of shows, so I don't know if he was on tour, and he just seemed a little disheveled. And I was walking out of the show, and I saw Johnny Cash getting in an elevator, and I walked up to him, and I said, "My name is this must have been 1990," and I shook his hand, and I said, "Hey, my name is Blaine Cartwright. I play in a band called 9 Pound Hammer, and our first album is called The Mud, the Blood, and the Beers." A boy named Sue, Mud, the Blood, and the Beers, and he was like, "Oh." And he's like, "Oh," but the problem was like I kept the elevator and I walked away. It didn't shut, and all the rednecks saw him, and he just got bombarded because of me. But yeah, it was very cool because I mean he went like he was like he snapped him back, you know. But Johnny Cash, I mean, we get compared to Johnny Cash so much because Scott sounds like Johnny Cash, or has a deep country voice that he can imitate Johnny Cash quite well. That we hear Johnny Cash story, we get kind of sick of it. But it was when I was a kid, Johnny Cash was like really kind of square. It was like I mean, he had those cool records from the past, but in the '70s, he'd be on like Little House on the Prairie or something.
yeah,
You know, he'd be or some crappy fucking show that you know you only have 3 or 4 channels. You watch only 3 or 4 channels. So if someone watched Little House on the Prairie or some shit, man, you're stuck watching it or whatever, and he'd be on something like that. And he'd be on a Billy Graham. It'd be either something about Jesus or trains. Seriously,
That's something.
he did one episode of Columbo that's like the best thing of all time, and where he plays a killer. And I don't want to give it away, but you gotta watch it, man. And he's fucking amazing. And it wasn't popular with his demographic because he was like had the same crowd in the '70s that Elvis had. It was like redneck old ladies, my relatives and stuff that were living in Kentucky. You know, they like him, you know, because he looked a certain way, and he sang a song about trains, and he loved Jesus and all that. So, you know, the thing was, that's why the T-shirt But Johnny Cash flipping, camera. Yeah, Johnny Cash doing that was so crazy at first because, like, you didn't see that side of him, and it took a fucking T-shirt. It took you seeing the same fucking T-shirt 6,000 times to realize that's fucking real. Because he's actually doing that, yeah. So all of a sudden he became that with Rick Rubin. He became that guy. That became fuck you. I'm Johnny Cash, which is like, I mean, I could have used some of that when I was a teenager. It'd been great. Like, fuck you, I'm Johnny Cash. Yeah.
And that's what is funny because
it was very family oriented. It was very country music itself was, and he'd always be in black, and he was trying to live. He was either living a straight life or having backed in the corner of having to fake it, right? So there was a whole lot of Jesus stuff, and I love Jesus too. But man, he would just go on, and it'd be like this big Billy Graham crusade and shit. And people took that shit serious where I grew up from, grew up at, me and Scott. And when Johnny Cash seemed like he was on their side, I mean, that's what it kind of seemed like for. Then when you hear those old Sun records, and you hear Folsom Prison, live at Folsom Prison, you just go, man, this guy was like this badass. But at the time, he seemed like a badass who calmed down. And then he got crazy again, which is good, But he was such an icon, before he was an icon worldwide. He was such an icon among like hillbillies that it was something that was always there, and it was kind of tamed for a while. I'm glad he's remembered for being crazy. So, but there was many a year where he was like, just always on some kind of seriously fucking religious special. Johnny Cash wants you to give your life to Jesus, like right now.
Yeah.
And be on a Billy Graham and shit, and you're going, oh fuck. So what's right, man? It's like, all right, because the original Johnny Cash sounds like before that it sounds like he's going to go to hell and doesn't give a shit.
I think the movie.
And this other guy's like just like everybody else, just can sing good. And anyway, I'm obviously really high right now, so
yeah, that's cool.
Good, yeah. I was in my house all morning, and people were banging on the roof like with hammers and stuff, fixing stuff. So I mean, it was like 7 hours straight. Ryder's still there, man. I was like, it was very nerve wracking. It was like shit was falling everywhere. Anyway. I was glad to be here.
Say hi to Rhoda from Belgium.
She'll be sad I missed this. Sad she missed this. I'm sure she might see it otherwise. But, is this live or is this like?
This is live, and
it's live
on YouTube after without the songs I play between because if I let the song on YouTube, they're gonna take it off for copyright.
The rights.
Yeah, so we got a friend who's got a great. I mean, if anyone can tune in, we got a friend who's got the best pandemic show. It's called the post-apocalyptic Malone Show. His name is Brian Malone, and it's mostly people from around here and like Southern Culture and Skids guys and stuff. We watching him, and he puts together a great show. It's like the best thing I've seen. But he's been getting his stuff taking off for. I mean, he plays his own band. He plays his own band that get taken off. I mean, he plays his music, his own band, and he puts it on, and then it's like silence because he gets the copyright infringement. It's like, and it's such a weird process to go through to prove that it's yours, and kind of very Orwellian and very surreal too. You do not have rights to your own song. That's I don't. Man. Yeah, I haven't had to face that yet. So I understand.
Blaine, we're gonna really thank you for coming up to
get me out of the house, man. I mean,
that was really great meeting you
Yeah,
and talking to you.
That's very cool. Is that it?
Yeah, we're gonna review
That's it.
A Nashville Percy song, as we already played a 9-point hammer.
Cool.
I'm
gonna click these off. Yeah.
I'm gonna play the Go Motherfucker Go because
Okay, cool.
I love it.
Oh.
I'm kind of a maniac record collector. I hate fucking.
Oh no, he's not. Yeah, he is. He is.
I lost 2 record collections to girlfriends, and me and Ryder had 4,000 burn up in a fire in Nashville.
Ooh.
And I still have got. I bought 6,000, so I've got. And we don't play them as much as we should. It's just so easy to do the play in my car, my phone, or Spotify or whatever. It's just so easy. It sounds good too. It actually does. But nothing like a record, man. Especially old soul records. You got to get the vinyl, man.
We were talking about cover song before. By the way, with Nashville Percy, I was so happy you cover a song of one of my favorite American artists. That was the Cocaine Cannot Kill My Pen.
Oh no shit! Really?
I love Steve Earle.
Man, it's like that was cool because there's a good story behind that. If you don't mind, it's like there's a friend who's an actor. His name's Earl Brown Jr. He's in Deadwood. He's in Something About Mary. He's in a bunch of stuff. He looks like me, basically. He played Meatloaf. I'm looking kind of like Meatloaf now. But he played Meatloaf in the movie too. It's like, anyway, he comes and films stuff in Atlanta, and he brought a guitar. And usually, when someone shows up with a guitar, I'm like, what are you doing? But it was fucking great. He played this Steve Earle. He goes, here's a Steve Earle. It's the only song Steve Earle wrote this one year when he's on heroin. I've got Earl Brown's version of him doing it, and I recorded it with my phone. And I never heard Steve Earle's. This was in my kitchen. Ryder wasn't there. Ryder was in Italy or California, and then I videotaped it. And I was like, man, this song is exactly the song I've been looking for, something like this to cover. And I sent the Earl Brown's version to Ryder. And I think Ben and Bonnie at the time, and a couple other people. And I was like, man, am I wrong, or is this fucking song perfect? And then we heard the original, and we kind of do like a mixture of it. So I was looking for a song that's really heavy because, like, some of those, like the Led Zeppelin album, the song Baby, they do a jump. I had a song, Baby, I'm Gonna Leave You. Judas Priest was one too. And if you have a heavy song like that, you normally wouldn't put sensitive lyrics to it, right? If you have a boom, boom. But you take a sensitive lyric song, I'm giving away my secrets here. You take a sensitive lyric song and make it heavy, then there's something really unique because, like, you're going bam, 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 and you're singing this stuff about being just pitiful and helpless while you're doing this music that you normally would just brag about, how big your dick is or something, like bang, 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 bang. So it makes it really cool. So I love that song. I love playing it live, and it sounds bigger and heavier. So I was a really cool. I thought it was a really cool choice, and everyone went along with it. And I just had an instinct about that song. We have not heard back from Steve Earle whether he likes it or not. And I was trying to hope he gets this message because, like, we don't make a lot of money in Nashville Pussy. We scoot by, so getting accolades from our heroes is one of the few things we can live for. So, Steve Earle, if you heard the song and like it, please get back to us. If you heard a song and don't like it, keep it to yourself. That's fine. We're fine. But I thought that was one of the best things on the record. And Daniel Ray, the producer, made me sing it through this beat up old mic instead of like singing this really nice microphone after it was done. I had to sing it live. It sounded like I mean it. He kept a scratch vocal, and it was like this beat up punk rock stepped on G.G. Allen mic. Just something you would just like, looks like someone just smashed the shit out of it. So he made me sing through that. So I wouldn't try to sound pretty. So I'd try to sound crazier than
crazier.
Sometimes I can actually sing, and this is not this singing was not called for apparently. So I made it as crazy as possible. So anyway, glad you like it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a big Steve Earle fan, so
We are
that
too.
guy.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if you heard about Calvin Russell. He's a guy from Austin, Texas. He made most of his career in France because he was playing the street. He was a hobo playing the street, and a guy from New Rose, a French record company, saw him in the street of Austin,
Yeah.
and he bring him back. And I saw him. He dies now, maybe 10 years ago, and he had a few guys of the Jukes playing with him.
Really?
And yeah, as I knew Calvin, I was first time I meet. I
Who
was
was
like,
who was playing? Who was playing guitar?
I don't remember. I
There was
should
some
check.
like there. They had some good guys in that, man. I don't know. I saw them open for me and Scott saw them open for Bob Dylan in 1989, and I was on acid in Kentucky. Took some acid, so Dylan was great actually. Man, it was unbelievable. But yeah, I haven't seen Steve Earle really since then. So, but Scott's from Knockout Hammer is a way bigger fan than me, but not way bigger than me. He knows more. I worship. Me and Ryder worship Copperhead Road Record. That's pretty much beginning to end, kind of perfect in its own for where everything kind of flows. First side, we had a cassette, so the first side cassette goes all the way through, like perfect. Yeah, really does. So is that it? I had to go to
Yeah.
It is it, man. It is it.
Okay, that's it.
Blaine was great, and
It was really great meeting you.
Go, motherfucker, go now to play, and we hope to see you live.
I'll see you guys next year.
See you very, very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, man. Bye, bye.